I kill a melody in the track, the rest of the track just kind of produces itself. But once I hit that point and you hit that like state of euphoria when you've come up with that melody, like that's the point for me when I go, right, this is going to be a really good track. And then the rest of it sort of like, I feel like I'm on autopilot producing the rest of it, you know? It produces itself. There's no shortcuts or anything in this industry. Literally, it all boils down to one thing, and that is really, really hard work. Like, you need to be prepared to work harder than you've ever worked before if you want to be successful in this industry. And any opportunity you get, you've got to take advantage of it. You've got to be doing the things that other people aren't willing to do in order to succeed. Before I was signed to Armada, I was releasing music on various sort of other labels, kind of like more of like here and there. I wasn't like really releasing very consistently. My first big break, I did a song about 5 years ago called On Fire with a singer called Roxanne Emery, and it was a really, really popular song, especially in the sort of trance scene. And then since then I've been kind of like figuring out who I am as an artist, what kind of sounds I like. And it's not until like sort of last year in 2018 when I sort of took a break out of music making and came back in with a whole fresh perspective on my productions. And I made a track called You, which Armin van Buuren basically played everywhere. I think still does, at every major festival, on every main stage. And since then I've been able to develop a relationship with Armada, and I'm now signed as an artist. And since I've released that track, I've got a lot more resources available to me as a producer to actually create the projects and music that I really want to make, and it allows me to work with people that I wouldn't have previously been able to work with. The support system I've got around me now at Armada has really helped me sort of like hone in on what I'm about and my sound, and really sort of push it as far as I can, and I'm still developing it. It's like I'm still adding new stuff. I feel comfortable trying new ideas out because I've got the resources backing me up to be able to do that, which is great. I've produced more complete songs in the last 12 months than I have in the last 6 years. Ever since I switched to Ableton, my workflow has just been through the roof, and I've been able to really actually execute the ideas I have in my head with ease in Ableton compared to how I was able to do it in Logic, and because of that I'm able to complete the songs. Whereas before I'd have this idea, it would be in such a way in Logic where it'd be so counterintuitive the way to do it in Logic, I would give up on the idea and never finish it, whereas in Ableton it's so intuitive to me. I feel like it's an extension of myself, and I'm able to complete these ideas really, really fast without loss of like the quality of the work. I've made more music than I've ever have in my life in the last 12 months, and people haven't even heard half the new ones yet. I'm a very diverse producer. I've produced things all the way from drum and bass to hip hop to trance to house to techno as an engineer. So I'm able to sort of take in lots of different influences from different genres and combine it into my own sound. The sort of stuff I like stuff with big epic melodies. I love epic melodies, and I like to execute those in various different ways per track. I don't like to do things the same every track. I like to do things a little bit differently. And of course, I like to make cheeky bangers. When I made that track, I didn't think about anything other than just making a really fun, good vibe song. It combines like 3 different genres of music into one, and I'm really proud of seeing the sort of crowd reactions that song's got around the world on the biggest festivals like Tomorrowland, Ultra. I was really proud of that. I wouldn't say tracks are bad, I'd say they're underproduced. So, you know, because music's entirely subjective, like, you know, what I might not like, someone might love, so, and vice versa. Some people might hate my music, you never know. But, you know, I hear a lot of underproduced tracks, you know, tracks that haven't had the right amount of EQ or processing, or they haven't richened up the melodies, the chords are very bland, or they haven't like taken the time to really strike a chord, really sort of build on the emotion of their tracks. They're just very underproduced. I wouldn't say they're bad, they're just underproduced. I feel like if people have got ideas and are making these tracks, this course will give you the resources and like techniques and information you need to go from something that sounds okay to something that's amazing. I've wanted to do something like this for a while, to be honest, because most people hear my music, but they don't know much about me, or they don't know much about how I make it. I hope to give people an insight on how I like to make music, what goes through my mind when I'm creating different parts of a record, literally from the beginning, how I write my melodies, how I build up tension into my tracks and how I drop them, and the sort of little tweaks here and there I do to kind of take them from one level to another.